Hey guys, Zack here, and this is my review of the Cuphead show. Okay, so this episode, in Charm's Way, serves as the Season 1 finale, and it kind of ends on an unresolved cliffhanger. I will openly admit that. So, yeah, this is the final episode of Season 1. Season 2 hasn't aired yet. It will eventually, I'm sure. It's supposed to air sometime this summer, which is just vaguely between now and September-ish. So, yeah, I have no idea when it's actually coming, when the next season is actually coming out. I have absolutely 100% no idea. But, yeah, but this episode just kind of ends on a cliffhanger. But, in any case, the episode opens up with Cuphead and Mugman looking through the house for something, and what we eventually find out is that they are actually looking for the jar of cookies, which apparently Elder Kettle had hidden, and they keep trying to find them, and eventually they find out that Elder Kettle just moved them to his bedroom on a high shelf so that the boys can't get to them, and of course they quickly realize that they need to actually stack up to actually get to the cookies, and they proceed to do exactly that. They proceed to climb up onto Elder Kettle's nightstand, stack each other up to try and reach the cookies, and but in the process, they accidentally wind up stepping on Elder Kettle's glasses, and they quickly realize they need to deal with it before Elder Kettle wakes up, and sure enough, right on cue, Elder Kettle then proceeds to come downstairs, and what we find out is that Elder Kettle is actually completely blind without his glasses because he's just stumbling around, walking into things, accidentally hurting himself, and of course the two immediately leave to go and fix Elder Kettle's glasses, but set up two dummies in the process. And Elder Kettle doesn't know he's talking to two dummies, but he gets kind of close to dummies. He can't really tell if they're actually Cuphead and Mugman or not, but he does tell the boys that he's going to just stay around looking for his glasses, and he doesn't want the boys stepping on them, which ironically they've already done. And because the dummies can't talk, he thinks that the boys are actually listening to him for once and tears up, and then goes back to start looking for his glasses. Meanwhile, the boys have actually the two have actually gone into the city to actually get Elder Kettle's glasses fixed, and the store clerk, a screwdriver, is completely confused as to how exactly it is that the two of them were unable to actually sneak his cookies away from an old man, but they merely tell her to stop with the quipping and just get their glasses fixed. But she merely tells them that she doesn't like their tone, but goes about her work anyway. At which point we hear music, and the owner of the glasses shop then tells them to knock it off and stop playing music. But they merely point out that it's not them playing music, and it's at this point where we actually meet Miss Chalice, who is introduced in the Cuphead DLC, but is also revealed as a ghost as the legendary Chalice. But yeah, Miss Chalice walks in and immediately starts singing a song about putting on a rainbow, and she immediately works up the charm to actually get the shop owner to go exactly along with what she wants, and winds up in the process stealing a pair of sunglasses and walking out, with the shop owner just not caring. And of course the two of them, the Cuphead and Mugman then eye each other and then wonder what exactly it is that was all about. And they then proceed to to walk out of the glasses shop, and they start looking around, and of course what we find out is that Miss Chalice is just a natural at doing this. As we find out, also she's wanted by the police, but and sure enough, the Bee Bobby from the one boss fight from the base game, but I think the Gazette, the Honeycomb Gazette or whatever it's called, but yeah, the Bee Bobby shows up. He's looking around. He looks at somebody who seems to be an old woman, and in actuality it's just Miss Chalice in disguise, but he asks if she's seen a Chalice, and instead Miss Chalice just pretends to be a poor old lady who can't really afford anything, and the Bee Bobby not only decides to not arrest Miss Chalice, but gives her a coin, not realizing it's her, and walks off. At which point Miss Chalice then proceeds to use the coin to buy herself a gumball, and then tickles the gumball machine to get it to spit out more of its gumballs, and that winds up working because it's cartoon logic. And a bunch of people then proceed to gather around and start eating the gumballs, as after she helps herself to one. And she then goes over to a hot dog stand vendor who is a pig, and he's clearly down his luck. So she works up her charms to actually get him to cheer up. And in the process, he winds up giving her like an entire pile of hot dogs, which she then uses to bribe her way into a movie theater. By giving everybody in line a hot dog, and then when the ticket owner looks at her a little bit funny and asks her if she has a ticket, she merely puts some mustard on the hot dog in the style of a suit and tie, and then the guy, being openly charmed by it, then lets her into the movie theater anyway. Meanwhile, Cuphead and Mugman have been following her around for all of this, having used that newspaper gag where you cut out eye holes and look through it. And they conclude that's a little bit strange, but they decide to actually follow Miss Chalice into the movie theater, and then wonder aloud while they're in there how she's able to get so much free stuff. But Mugman points out that they may in fact need her help getting the cookies, at which point they're all shushed by everybody in the movie theater. And in the process, while they're talking back and forth with each other, Miss Chalice winds up leaving, and they note she goes out the exit, so they go out the emergency exit to the movie theater, where they look around, and she then proceeds to confront the two of them and ask them who they're working for. And they merely insist that they don't know what she's talking about there, and that they don't have any job, and that they're just a couple of dum-dums, but which Cuphead elbows Mugman for. But and of course, she wonders how exactly it is that the two of them have been following her around. But they merely point out that they're just interested in figuring out how she earns so much free stuff. But she merely points out that this isn't something that's very easy to learn, and points out that she's a solo act and she doesn't like working with other people. But to which point where Mugman points out that they actually tried to steal cookies from their elderly caretaker, which of course, but also openly admits that they weren't very successful at it. And so Cuphead elbows him again, but Mugman merely responds that they might as well be honest if they need her help. So and Miss Chalice actually winds up taking a shine to the two of them, so she decides to actually help them and teach them how to actually do her thing, and then proceeds to sing a song called "Work Up the Charm," which sure enough is just her explaining via a montage about how she actually operates her thing, which is that she teaches, and essentially throughout the song she teaches them all of her lessons about how to actually become an actually successful at getting people to do what they want. And she merely responds that they just need to be charming. They just need to work up their tapping, work up their all their other things, keep a smile on their face, and just overall just be very cute and charming and get people to do what she wants. And sure enough, she points out that, and also points out that before they get wise, that they have to actually give them the slip as well. But she of course she then also proceeds to take the boys to a fair ride, and they start riding on a ferry for a parade, and set off several of the fireworks. And having enjoyed all of it, and having actually picked up a couple of things from Miss Chalice, Miss Chalice believes that they're actually finally ready to take the final step, and proceeds to give them a test. And the two of them, of course, are very confused, and a little bit alarmed that they have to do a test. And but she merely brings them to the outside of a building, and points to the security guard, which is a bear, and tells them that they need to charm their way into the building, and that will be their final test. And of course they do decide to go on and immediately do that. And they do decide to tap the guard on the shoulder and go into their tapping lessons. But what we quickly find out is that Cuphead and Mugman aren't as charming as Miss Chalice, like at all. And at one point the security guard does pull out his nightstick and tries to, and it seems like he's going to hit the two boys. And they then become a lot more frantic with their tapping and trying to charm him. But it's at this point where Miss Chalice realizes that they're kind of in trouble. So she immediately comes in and does backup for them. And at which point the guard not only puts his nightstick away, but is actually so charmed by them that he lets them into the factory anyway. At which point it's revealed what exactly it is, and that they actually go inside the factory and discover that it's a cookie factory. And Cuphead and Mugman's face is visibly light up, and Miss Chalice immediately tells them that it's all they can eat, so that they should help their fill. But as she's turning on the machines, she accidentally sets off the silent alarm, which of course she doesn't realize till later. But of course, Cuphead and Mugman openly immediately start dumping cookies in their milk and in their heads, and start wolfing down the cookies. But and of course, Miss Chalice is just very happy to see them happy. But then she hears the police sirens going on from outside the building, and tells the two of them to cheese it because it's the police. At which point they both immediately panic and wind up knocking each other out by accident. And Miss Chalice quickly realizes that she needs to get them out of there, and tries to scoop them up and tries to get them out of their out of the factory. But then discovers that the two of them are just too heavy for her to move herself, and she quickly points out that while she likes them, she doesn't like them enough to tangle with the police, and then switches to her ghost form and proceeds to phase out of the factory and leave. At which point the police barge in after Cuphead and Mugman come to, and insist that the cops tell them that they're under arrest. So and in a futile effort to avoid going to prison, Cuphead and Mugman try to charm up the security guards, which doesn't work, and they are immediately arrested and thrown in jail. And again, that's where the episode ends. And it even openly admits to be continued. So this episode is going to get a second half to it that isn't in this season and is most likely going to start off the second one, which whenever that happens. So yeah, this episode just, it kind of ends on a cliffhanger. It introduces Miss Chalice in her ghost form as well as her human form, and she's able to just swap between the two. But which isn't how it works in the game. But considering that the show kind of follows its own logic, I'll allow it. But yeah, it is interesting that that you do wind up meeting Miss Chalice, and she's notably a lot different than she is in the game. I will openly admit that, as opposed to the game where she seems like this wise damsel in distress type figure. In this show, she is very openly free-spirited and a little bit of a con artist. So yeah, she's notably the most different of the characters from either of them. But yeah, she's the most different from her in-game counterpart. But yeah, I do like this episode. I am looking forward to seeing when season 2 is airing. I have no idea when season 2 is going to air, so for the time being, I have no idea what I'm going to do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the first season. I'm looking forward to reviewing the second season whenever that comes out. So be sure to go check those out. Link is down in the description. Just go check out the Cuphead show. The link is in the description, I believe, for Netflix. But yeah, it's on Netflix. Go check it out. And again, it maybe takes you about 3 hours to finish the whole thing, and you'll be well prepared for season 2 whenever that comes out. But yeah, in any case, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon if you want to help support the show. I mostly use the Prime projects. It's only a couple bucks a month. Just go check that out. Link is down in the description. And also, be sure to go check out my Go check out my Twitter. I post updates over there. Go check out the videos linked in the end screen as well. The top video is the most recent one, whereas the bottom video is based on what you've already seen from me. So, yeah, I have no idea where those are going to send you. Just go check those out. If you find something interesting, just let me know. But, in any case, yeah, just go check those out. And thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!